Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leisrealtalk. How's everyone doing? Good? You well? Okay, excellent. Well, Chinese leader Xi Jinping seems to be under tremendous stress. He isn't doing that well. A week ago, rumors surfaced that he lost his vice chairman of the CMC, and these reports are now being confirmed by more independent sources. This must have taken a toll on him. Yesterday, he emerged with a head full of white hair. Meanwhile, his other vice chairman, Zhang Youxia, appears poised to take control. To stay relevant, Xi Jinping is considering making a political move by rehabilitating his longtime enemy, the ruthless Xilai. Last but not least, the real political struggle behind Hong Kong tycoon Li Ka-shing's sale of 43 ports to BlackRock runs far deeper than what Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal have reported. And the real reason why Xi Jinping is furious is that Li and his company have aligned with the anti-Xi forces. Okay, so the above is a quick highlight of what we'll discuss tonight. I hope you're okay with that. Without further ado, let's get started. So last Saturday night, I told you Xi Jinping's highest ranking loyalist, the second vice chairman of CMC, He Weidong, was rumored to be arrested. Actually, at the time, I was not able to upload the slides. I am able now. So let me show you what he looks like. It's been a week since Mr. Zhao Lanjian revealed He's arrest. Overseas Chinese media have all followed up, reported the story. Western media such as Newsweek, The Hill, Ground News, India Today, and VOZ also reported it. However, the CCP and the PLA have remained silent and done nothing to dispel the rumors. And this is odd. Last year, when the rumor that the newly promoted defense minister Dong Jun was sidelined, the defense ministry spokesman immediately denied it, and the minister appeared in public immediately. Even when the CCP announced the absence of its head of the National People's Congress, Zhao Leji, 2 weeks ago, due to respiratory disease, Zhao reappeared the following 2 days to show that he was safe politically and healthy. Recently, people noticed that the vice premier in charge of finance, He Lifeng, missed a state council plenary session chaired by Premier Li Qiang. He Lifeng quickly resurfaced 2 days later, a move likely to quash rumors of his downfall. So if you think about it, a week has passed and CCP hasn't said a word about He Weidong's whereabouts. Something is off. The rumors surrounding He Weidong's arrest are becoming increasingly credible due to his continued absence from key events. So on March 14th, the CCP held a high-level symposium in Beijing to mark the 20th anniversary of the implementation of the anti-secession, it's a mouthful to say. It triggered Lei's cough. CCP's anti-secession law triggered Lei's cough. So it was the 20th anniversary. It was a politically significant event aimed at reinforcing Beijing's stance against Taiwan independence. The meeting was attended by top-ranking officials such as Zhao Leji, the head of People's Congress, and Wang Yi, the foreign minister. Excuse me. I have to take a sip of water. Okay. So it was a high-profile event. Given his role as vice chairman of the CMC, He Weidong would have been expected to attend because his predecessor attended the same event 5 years ago at the 15th anniversary. You would think the 20th anniversary is more important than the 15th. However, He's absence was glaring. Instead, General Liu Zhengli, chief of staff of the Joint Staff Department, attended in his place, a highly unusual substitution. Since last week, there has been at least 5 separate sources that have independently confirmed that He Weidong is indeed detained. Yesterday, Zhao Lanjian, sorry, there he is. The journalist who first broke the news about He Weidong's arrest revealed that He Weidong suffered a sudden heart attack after being arrested and is currently detained at the 301 military hospital in Beijing. The entire hospital ward is sealed off and is under heavy guard. And once his condition stabilizes, it was said that he will be transferred to the Jinxi Hotel for further interrogation. Jinxi Hotel is the venue reserved for CCP officials' use only. It's not open to public. So Mr. Zhao said that his arrest has caused a major earthquake in Beijing. The CMC headquarters has launched a full-scale purge. All documents, speeches, photographs, and videos from He Weidong's tenure as vice chairman are being collected and handed over to the CMC general office to ensure either for review or to ensure his influence is completely either to be reviewed or to be erased. We still don't know why he was taken down, but based on the description above, it looks serious. Further adding to the speculation, footage from the closing ceremony of the 2 sessions showed an unusual moment. Let me show you the picture. Also, here's Dong Jun and He Lifeng. I want to show you this picture. Let me make this bigger. This picture looks very interesting. It shows as Xi Jinping was exiting the podium or the stage, a number of CCP leaders turn around to watch him leave, a gesture that signals respect and loyalty. However, Zhang Youxia, the other CMC vice chairman, did not turn at all. He remained facing forward, totally ignoring Xi Jinping, even as he walked behind him. This symbolic act suggests that Zhang Youxia no longer feels the need to show deference to Xi. But if we compare the same footage from last year's two sessions, we'll see a completely different Zhang Youxia 12 months earlier in 2024. So now let me play you a video. It's a clip that's very short. It first showed how he reacted to Xi Jinping when he walked behind him. And then towards the end, it showed the footage of 2025. I asked Chris to add the year mark at the top. The video is pretty short. So here we go. Hold on, let me, you know where, yeah, okay. So Zhang Youxia is on the far left. So there's Zhang Youxia, busy with his folder, moving. And then he realized he needed to turn. Okay, so now Xi Jinping passed him. And now it's 2025. The red circle is Zhang Youxia. Yeah, so I asked Chris to slow down the motion. You want to, let me play that again. So there he is, busy. Oh, I need to turn. And now 2025, he just does not bother. He never turned. And Xi Jinping was right behind him, never turned. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I'll talk about that later. So let me come back to this. So that picture was has become famous now, and also well, I should play you the video. So yeah, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? The video proves that um, Zhang Youxia does not care anymore. And also today, I want to show you this picture. Today, Xi Jinping went to Yunnan and he inspected a local PLA troops in Yunnan. And for the first time ever, he was not accompanied by one of his vice chairmen of CMC. Well, and if you look at all the previous um, meetings or pictures where Xi Jinping, uh, when she visited the local PLA troops, he was always accompanied at least by at least one CMC vice chairman, sometimes two. So now neither one was there. Well, He is locked up, and Zhang Youxia probably doesn't care anymore to act, right? Before, for the past 6 months, he put on a good act to show that Xi Jinping is still the leader. And now he just doesn't bother anymore, as he doesn't even bother to turn to show respect. So this picture is another proof that Xi Jinping no longer controls the military, and I think it's Zhang Youxia. Now, at the two sessions closing ceremony about 2 weeks ago, foreign press caught Xi Jinping sitting nervously on the podium, rubbing his hands on his knees or legs. And people wondering, was it a sign of health issues or was it a nervous breakdown? So let me play you the clip, and then you can judge for yourself.
宣读表决结果。赞成2866票，反对8票。现在由工作人员宣读表决结果。赞成2866票，反对8票，弃权10票。宣读完毕。通过。
Let me play that again.
现在。
Look at his hands.
宣读表决结果。赞成2866票，反对8票。现在由工作人员宣读表决结果。
I just muted the audio. Yeah, so people said that it looks like he was rubbing his legs or knees. Or he was nervous, or he was bored. He was bored, sitting there. But anyways, there are plenty reason to believe that Xi Jinping is under a lot of stress. He recently visited. He is in, I think, he's still in Guizhou and Yunnan. But what caught the public attention was not his itinerary. It was his sudden transformation in appearance. In viral footage from his visit to Lijiang on March 19th, which was yesterday, he appeared with a head of white hair. Let me show it to you. There we go. So on the left is an image taken from the video in Lijiang. The image in the center was taken from the two sessions that concluded 2 weeks ago. Look at his hair. It was only a matter of a few days. It was not even a week. His hair went from the picture in the center to one on the left. And then the image on the right was taken from August last year. It's covered up. It's covered up. Here we go. You can't see by my logo. But anyways, that's irrelevant. Let's just compare the one in the center to the one on the left. So his hair seriously looked, people are asking, what has happened to him? Here's another one. Here are two other pictures. So it was people are wondering what has contributed to his hair suddenly turning white, Well, the medical explanation is extreme stress, right? So he's currently facing extraordinary internal and external pressures, which could be taking a toll on his health. Internally, CCP's power struggles are intensifying as he seeks to consolidate his grip on the party amid rising opposition. And externally, tension over Taiwan and the US-China trade war are all adding to the weight on his shoulders. So medical research suggests that extreme stress can trigger um, one's sympathetic nerve system to release a hormone that accelerates hair whitening. Um, and under prolonged stress, hair can turn gray or white at an unusually rapid speed, sometimes even overnight. And it's a phenomenon referred to as the Marie Antoinette syndrome. Um, so his sudden white hair may be linked to a serious health condition, people say. Well, we know the CCP has long controlled the public image of its top leaders, right? Making sure that the high-ranking officials maintain a youthful and authoritative appearance. So whether the drastic change is the result of extreme political pressure, a medical condition, or or maybe simply he doesn't care. He doesn't care about his image anymore. No matter what it is, one thing is clear. That is, Xi Jinping is undergoing an unprecedented level of strain. So now let's talk about Hong Kong billionaire Li Ka-shing's selling of his Panama Canal port assets and other holdings to an American consortium led by BlackRock. The CCP-controlled media outlet in Hong Kong launched a series of attacks against Li and his company. According to Professor Yuan Hongbin, who I think was today, was it yesterday or today? I think it might be today. Things are not as straightforward as the media outlets have told us. His sources in Beijing has told him that the CCP attempted to intervene in the transaction through state-owned enterprises. But Li ignored Beijing's demands, and Li Ka-shing's decision was backed by a group of powerful princeling or CCP families who are unhappy with Xi Jinping. So under pressure from the Trump administration, Li's conglomerate, CK Hutchinson, announced on March 4th that it would sell 43 ports across 23 countries to a BlackRock-led consortium while retaining its ports in mainland China and Hong Kong. The transaction is valued at almost $23 billion. CCP did not respond to this for 10 days until March the 13th, when the CCP-controlled 大公报 published 3 consecutive articles on the 13th, 15th, and 17th, accusing Li of betraying China and selling out national interests. The Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office of the Chinese State Council even reposted the criticism on its official website. Additionally, on March 17th and 18th, former and current Hong Kong chief executives criticized CK Hutchinson. And meanwhile, from March 14th to 15th, Ma Hui, deputy minister of CCP's International Liaison Department, led a CCP delegation to visit Panama. Bloomberg reported on March 18th that multiple Chinese government agencies received orders from top CCP leadership to investigate whether CK Hutchinson's overseas port sale posed security risks or violated antitrust laws. On the 19th, the Wall Street Journal cited sources saying that Xi Jinping was furious about Li's sale of the ports without prior consultation with Beijing. Reportedly, the CCP had originally intended to use the Panama Canal port ports as leverage in negotiations with the Trump administration. That's what the media outlets say. However, Professor Yuan Hongbin revealed that the CCP's intelligence operations had learned of Hutchinson's plan to sell its overseas port assets. Beijing then attempted to pressure Li into selling these assets to China's SOEs. So he said, Professor Yuan said, the CCP told Li Ka-shing, if you want to sell, you must sell to state-owned enterprises. However, Li decided to sell to an American company. According to Professor Yuan, Li's decision to sell to an American enterprise was not solely his own. It was influenced by a network of elite CCP families who oppose Xi Jinping. Yuan Hongbin explained that for Li Ka-shing personally, selling to either a CCP-owned company or SOE or an American company made a little difference, right? I mean, if the price is right, it doesn't matter who he sells it to. Actually, let me give you a picture. There is Li Ka-shing. I think he's 96 years old. Sitting to his right is his son. This picture was taken a few years ago. It's not recent. Okay, and I think this image is more fitting for our discussion. So yeah, so it should make no difference to him, right, if he sells the company or the assets to a Chinese SOE or an American company. However, the real reason behind the decision was that many of these elite CCP families from the Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao eras, who once held positions as Central Committee members, some of them are retired senior officials, they wanted the assets to be sold to the US, to an American company. Now, Li acquired these ports back in the days when during Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao's time. And it was said that even though on the record his company owns these ports, but many of these CCP elite families have a share, have a financial interest in these ports as well. So they're all in this with Li Ka-shing. Now, these powerful elites fear an intense US-China confrontation under Trump's second term. And they believe that Xi Jinping's government is heading toward an irreversible crisis with the United States. So Professor Yuan said, these CCP elites are deeply concerned that if war breaks out over Taiwan, the US will impose devastating economic sanctions on China, similar to the Western sanctions on Russia. If that happens, US authorities could seize assets belonging to CCP officials and their families overseas. They fear this scenario, so they want Li Ka-shing to sell his port holdings to an American company as a gesture of goodwill to Trump. The implicit message is, if Xi Jinping triggers a US-China war, we're actually not on his side. We support the US, so please do not seize our assets. So this is what Professor Yuan said, and if you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Because, I mean, if judging by the level of madness China's state media has exhibited, in its wordings and attacks on Li Ka-shing and his company, it shows that Xi Jinping is really mad. But his fury is not coming from selling the ports to Americans. It's the political forces behind Hutchinson that infuriated Xi. That probably explains why Beijing remained quiet for 10 days on the transaction and suddenly went crazy on the media attack on Li. Hutchinson isn't a Chinese company, right? Think about it. It's registered in Cayman Island, and the assets it's selling isn't in China. The entire transaction doesn't involve any Chinese entity. So, even if Xi Jinping is paranoid, he wouldn't show it so openly. So the real reason is the political maneuver behind this transaction. So I think Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal reported that Xi Jinping was angry, but they didn't really say why Xi Jinping was so angry. I actually do not believe when they said that, Xi Jinping had planned to use the Panama ports as part of its negotiation with the Trump administration. That's not convincing at all. Anyone who knows the CCP politics, why would they wait 10 days to react? If that were the case, why would Xi Jinping and the state media waited 10 days to react so strongly? It wouldn't make sense. The only explanation is it took them a while to figure out who's really behind this deal. And it was said that one of the families that supported Li Ka-shing's decision was Wang Qishan. It was also said that Wang Qishan and his network of friends facilitated Ka-shing's liquidation of some of his holdings in China. They really helped him transfer some of his assets out of China to overseas. So, and this is the reason why Xi is mad. Okay. Now, Professor Yuan Hongbin also reviewed that one of Xi Jinping's foremost political enemy is launching a comeback as Xi may need his help. According to Yuan Hongbin, recent political whispers in Beijing claim that Bo Xilai, who has been imprisoned for the past 12 years, submitted an appeal to the Supreme People's Court ahead of the 2025 two sessions. Bo has been locked up for 12 years, serving a life sentence for bribery, embezzlement, and abuse of power. His wife is also locked up for a suspended death sentence for murdering her lover and the British businessman Neil Haywood. Bo is reportedly arguing that his case was a fabricated political persecution and that he was deliberately framed by others. Actually, I do have a picture of him. Where did he go? Oh, there we go. Here's the family. Bo Guagua is their son, who recently married a young lady from a renowned political family in Taiwan. So Bo Xilai is reportedly arguing that his case was fabricated, and it was political persecution, and he was deliberately framed by his opponents. And in his appeal, he demands a full reversal of his conviction and official exoneration. The same whisper suggests that despite being 76 years old now, Bo Xilai has remained a disciplined lifestyle in prison, constantly exercising and reading, and is in good health. So let's talk about who Bo Xilai is. Now, he's a notorious leftist. During his tenure as the Chongqing Party secretary, he launched a political campaign that attacked Deng Xiaoping's reform policies and revived the Maoist-era revolutionary culture. Premier Wen Jiabao once publicly called Bo Xilai a remnant of the Cultural Revolution. Lately, like I mentioned, his son, Bo Guagua, has been actively defending his parents, even at his wedding. So according to Professor Yuan, the person pushing for Bo Xilai's rehabilitation is no other than Xi Jinping's diehard loyalist Cai Qi. So Cai Qi's idea is to use Bo Xilai, a diehard leftist, to counter the reformists led by Wen Jiabao, who is one of the three reformists born in the year 1942 who are said to be in charge of the party. Cai Qi is the person who reportedly pressured Xi Jinping to fully exonerate Bo Xilai's charges and hold Wen Jiabao accountable for his role in Bo's downfall. Now, if Bo Xilai were truly reinstated and released, it would revive the Maoist leftist ideology to a new height in China. However, others warned that releasing Bo Xilai could open Pandora's box because Bo is a crazy warlord who would bring down the party. A former classmate of Bo Xilai described him as extremely ambitious and is dead focused on being CCP's top leader. He wants no other position. He wants no other position other than Xi Jinping's position. And the classmate said, the man has no regard for others, not even his families, and is capable of doing anything bad. Bo Xilai displayed a ruthless personality even during his younger years and developed a habit of stealing. He personally assaulted his father, Bo Yibo, during the Cultural Revolution, delivering a series of punches that caused his father to black out and collapse. Not stopping there, he stomped on his father's chest, breaking 3 of his ribs. That just shows you how ruthless this man can be. Bo Xilai's domineering style was noted by Westerners. American media commentary noted that during his tenure as China's Minister of Commerce, a few of his American counterparts had very few of his American counterparts had a favorable impression of him, as they found him to be arrogant, blunt, and abrasive. Bo's overbearing nature earned him the reputation of Little Mao Zedong. During his time as the Commerce Minister, Vice Premier Wu Yi was his direct superior. Wu Yi reportedly described Bo Xilai as follows. She said, he refuses to be a subordinate. He only wants to be the top leader. He cannot cooperate with others and will go to any length to seize power, even at the cost of destroying the work at hand. Wu Yi accused Bo Xilai of frequently lying about trade negotiations, attempting to sow discord among the leaders in the State Council, and his conduct in diplomatic settings was also highly inappropriate. Wu threatened to quit if the senior leadership didn't get Bo out of Beijing. In the end, they did. They sent him to Chongqing to be the party's secretary. So if Xi Jinping is considering exonerating this man from a life sentence and create a political alliance with him, it only shows one thing, and one thing only. That is, Xi Jinping is completely desperate and helpless. No one is helping him, right? And if Bo is released from jail, I don't think Xi Jinping will last long. I think Bo Xilai will be eventually locked up again, but this time he will take Xi Jinping with him. During their childhood, it was said that Xi Jinping was frequently bullied by Bo Xilai, who is 4 years older than him. And Xi Jinping was allegedly forced to let Bo Xilai ride on his back like a horse, which might have left a psychological scar on Xi Jinping. So let's hope Xi Jinping's childhood memory still has an impact on him, and that he hasn't completely lost his sense to bring back this monster back. So that's, but I think, if you really think about it, if Xi Jinping is contemplating that idea, of bringing Xilai back to form an alliance, a leftist alliance, to counter the reformists, he's not in a good position. You know, his days are numbered. His days in power are seriously numbered. It does not look good at all. And if he does do this, if he does bring the guy back, both will be finished. That's all. That's all I have. All right. What do you think? I don't have the flowers to offset the terrible energy from CCP politics. Where did my flower go? But anyways, all right. Let's see what people have for me. Greetings from India, from Neil. Well, hello. And then Maria Manny, I can't say. I have a very nasal voice today. Hi from Australia. Well, welcome. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay, good. Excellent. No questions. That's great. Texas Panda, for your cough, try finely sliced ginger, like little hair. Put in a pan of boiling Coca-Cola. Take it off the heat and let it steep and strain and drink from a cup. Well, thank you, everyone, for the great suggestions. Thank you. Someone said honey and lemon from last live stream. And I haven't tried it. Okay, all right. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Oh, yes. I released a new video tonight at 9 p.m. It's about China's the Three Gorges Dam, the impact of the Three Gorges Dam on Earth, on our planet. And Chris and I spent a lot of time making that video, and I think it's worth your 14 minutes. So Chris has copied the link here. Hope you can check it out after this live stream. Even though I called it a culture channel, Lei's Looking Glass is more of a culture channel, but I do want to include, I do want to have a variety of topics. So in this case, it's a scientific one. All right, let's see. No questions. Excellent. All right. Oh, here, WSC Lack, Wise Lack. Thank you for the super sticker. Wise Lack? I think it's Wise Lack from Michael Estrada. Thank you. You are the flower. Oh, thank you. What a flattering words to say. Well, thank you. I don't always feel very pretty, though. That's what I love flowers. They're really nice to look at. Nick Fury, what will happen to the 390,000 undocumented Chinese in the US that Trump is considering to deport? Will they run to Canada? Possibly. Yeah, possibly they may run to Canada. But the thing, finding them is not easy because they're hiding deep in Chinatown or scattered around across the country. I was thinking, how are they going to find these people? It's going to be an onerous task. Let's see. Oh, here's Charles Womack. Didn't Bo Xilai's son, move living in the West? Yeah, he lives in Canada. He works for an investment firm, a Canadian investment firm. And he is married to a Taiwanese woman. So yeah, he lives in Canada. I think in the greater Toronto area, Bo. That's before his marriage. I don't know where he lives now. He might have moved somewhere else. Alvin Chu, what are your thoughts about the delayed response of Beijing on Li Ka-shing sale of the ports on the Panama Canal? What took them so long? That's exactly the point I was making today. What took them so long is because of the political maneuver behind it. It's because Li Ka-shing took the advice of those who are against Xi Jinping, but who have an interest in making peace with the West, particularly the United States. And these are the CCP elite families that that still are influential in China today. And I think it took Xi Jinping quite a number of days to find that out. And now he's furious. So if you just join us, you can watch the early parts of this video because I addressed that. Okay, here's a question forwarded by Chris. Will Trump's current geopolitical realignment affect Beijing's political calculations? I think certainly everything that Trump has done, you could see, is trying to realign everything so that the United States stays focused on dealing with China or the CCP. I think they're trying to separate China from the CCP. So it is getting the CCP regime very concerned, although he doesn't say it, I mean, he's saying, this is his strategy, it's almost like a Chinese strategy. He's trying, as the top leader, he's trying to stay soft and not too hard, but all the policies that his cabinet members are pushing are head on, hit. So I think he's using this dual strategy. Anyways, it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting to watch what they're doing. But I would not, if I could make a suggestion to President Trump, I would tell him, don't sing praises to these individuals. Do not sing praises to Xi Jinping. It does not gain you anything. Because nobody likes, the Chinese people do not like Xi Jinping. The Chinese officials do not like him. So why would you sing praises to Xi Jinping? Why do you want to call him a friend? Because that's going to make you alienate almost everyone. It's not going to make you popular. So I would, advise him to tone it down. I understand the strategy. He does not want to rock the boat at this point, but there's no need to sing praises to him. It's just not. It's not going to make him popular at all, because the Chinese people don't like to hear that. Okay. Okay. All right. That seems to be all. I reached the bottom. There's a question forwarded by Chris from Rommel Luna. There are reports that former President Rodrigo seeked asylum in Hong Kong but was rejected. Do you have any idea what happened, why China rejected? I think China is trying to stay out of trouble. China traditionally does not involve itself in offering asylum to other heads of state who are in trouble. Unless they are one of its. I don't think China in recent years have done that. Maybe during Mao's era they have. Okay, here's a question from Wing Yu. How is it possible for Xi to think that he can hang on to power forever? How is it? I don't think he thinks he could hang on to power forever. I don't think he likes to I think it's purely because of safety. He, if he doesn't hang on to power, his life may be in danger, because the political struggles in China is life and death. So the only way for him to stay safe is to hang on to power forever. But if the internal But if the different factions could agree, could have a solution for him to step down gracefully without any repercussion, he may choose to do that. Otherwise, he will try to hold on to power indefinitely. Okay. Netflix foreign. Do you think there's a scenario the CCP could be overthrown and replaced with a military dictatorship under Xilai if he's freed? It's possible, but it would be terrible. Then under Xilai, China would be 10 times worse than under Xi Jinping. That man is ruthless. I mean, think about it. If he can stomp his father after the man collapsed and broke 3 of his ribs, I mean, what kind of individual is that? It's possible, but it would be terrible. I hope that doesn't happen. Sandra Holford, what do you make of the Chinese Navy doing a circuit around Australia, doing live fire practice, posturing close to our waters? I think I have said this, I think the PLA is in chaos. The leadership is in chaos. And I think in order to prevent that from being revealed, they want to continue to put out this wolf warrior image just to be consistent. So all of that is really an act that they put on just to show that they are they're no different from what they were before. And they're trying to do that to show that Xi Jinping is still in power. I think that's the only purpose that they're doing that. Either that or some lower ranking officers trying to take advantage of the power vacuum in the leadership. And like I said, one of the concerns people have in this power vacuum is things will become out of control. Some of the lower ranking officers may want to take advantage of the power vacuum to do something egregious just to gain politically, right? And these people have been brainwashed, so they may be blindly following one direction, thinking that it could help them move ahead. So a PLA that's in chaos is only more dangerous. Let's put it that way. It's more dangerous because it's out of control, right? When a household that's completely out of control and when they possess some deadly weapons, it's not a good picture. It's not a good scene. So that's my comment. All right, that's all. That's all today. I thank you for joining. Please take a look at the video in Lei's Looking Glass on the impact of the 3 gorges on our planet. I thank you very much. I'll see you not next week, in 2 days, over the weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.